of sage. If you have some at home, I invite you to burn some, or Palo Santo or Kapal, or any cleansing that you may have available, even a white candle if you'd like to set it and light it. I have one as well. So invitation for that. Today's flow is going to be inspired by Pacha Mama. Today is Earth Day, and it's also a new moon, so we have a lot of beautiful energy coming forward, new beginnings, and all of these wonderful things. So today's practice is going to be dedicated to Pacha Mama. And so we're going to do a lot of asanas, poses that are themed with nature and animals and things as such. A lot of inspiration for yoga asanas is nature itself, and we can learn a lot about ourselves through flora, fauna, observing nature, listening to nature, and all these little details that nature has to offer us for our own personal growth. And if we really tune in, we can truly learn a lot about ourselves. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started in mountain pose, Tadasana, standing all the way up. So we're going to go to the top of our mat. So your legs can be hip distance or close together. Find what feels right for you. If you can bring your legs close together and even have your big toes touching, I recommend that. But if you feel a little off balance, feel free to separate your legs. From here, bring your shoulders up to your ears, to then relax them down, away from your ears. Feel almost as if your hands, your arms have weight. Notice if your tailbone is sticking out, take a moment to tuck it in, to engage your lower abdomen, to find your center. Let your jaw relax. The muscles around your face relax. Your eyes can be closed or open. I have mine closed just to really tune inside. Notice your breath. Noticing how much of a blessing it is to be able to breathe the fresh air that nature provides for us. Perhaps here really grounding in our feet, lifting our toes off the earth, spreading them out to then slowly take one toe at a time to ground it down. Feeling those roots going deep into the core of the earth, deep into your mat. When you're ready, take a deep breath in, reach your hands up to the sky, grab some really good energy, and exhale it down to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Taking a moment to pause here, connecting with our heart, connecting with our hands, and setting our intention for today. What brought you here? Perhaps even adding a dedication to Mother Earth, Gaia, Pacha Mama, for its constant unconditional love, for its constant blessing and warmth. You can flutter your eyes open gently or keep them closed. We're slowly going to inhale our arms back up to the sky. And then exhale, taking a gentle forward fold, bending in the knees to support your journey, letting the head bow. We're going to start with Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation. So very gently, bending in the knees to ground the hands, step your right foot back. Lower that knee down, untuck your toes. Maybe hands stay grounded or reach up, sink into your hips here. When you're ready, hands come back down to the earth. We're going to tuck our toes behind us, activate that leg, and then step it into a plank. From here, lower your knees, your chest and chin as you exhale. Inhale to gently open up your heart into a cobra. And then very gently releasing our heart, tucking our toes, lifting our hips, and finding our first down dog. Maybe walking the legs in your down dog, shaking out your head of any tension. Taking one more grounding breath in your down dog. From here, gently step the right foot forward. Lower the right knee down, untuck the toes. Now coming for the other side. Again, hands can stay grounded or maybe reaching them up. Shoulders relaxed here, sink into the hips, roll with your heart. When you're ready, hands settle back down to the earth. Tuck the toes behind you, activate that leg, shift your weight forward, and find your forward fold, melting the crown of the head down to the earth. From here, inhale, halfway lift, roll through your spine, through your vertebrae, and then exhale to melt back down. Notice how gravity feels here. Gravity weighing you down, helping you get that nice stretch. Making sure we're not locking the knees, having a soft or a deep bend. When you're ready, slowly inhale, rise, reaching up. Maybe grabbing some really good energy to send it back into our heart center as we pause and breathe here, Tadasana. When you're ready, inhale, reaching back up. And exhale, melting back down. Bending in the knees, left foot steps back. Lower that knee down, untuck the toes, sink into the hips. Hands can stay down or reach up. Making sure that here your knee is tracking your ankle. And imagine sinking into the hips as you grow into your heart. When you're ready, the hands settle back down. We're going to tuck the toes, activate that leg, and step that foot back. From here, lower your knees, your chest, your chin, all the way down to Mother Earth. Inhale for a gentle cobra. Shoulders away from the ears, opening up our heart. And then gently back into that down dog, taking your journey with your breath. And taking a couple of rounds of breath in your down dog, taking this time to ground. Feel the earth beneath your fingers, beneath your toes. When you're ready, gently left foot steps in between the hands. Lower the knee down, untuck the toes. Again, hands can stay down or maybe sending them up, driving that energy up towards the sky. When you're ready, hands settle back down to the earth. Tuck the toes behind, activate that leg, shift the weight forward to step into your forward fold, Uttanasana. From here, inhale, halfway lift. Think about growing through your vertebrae, and then exhale to melt into that little extra length you created. From here, inhale, rise, reach the hands back up, and exhale them into your heart. Pausing here once more, noticing the effect that that Sun Salutation had on us, on our breath. And connecting back with our intention. When you're ready, inhale the hands back up, roll through your spine, maybe offer a small heart opener this time, and then exhale, melting back down. From here, we're gently going to step one foot back at a time to find our down dog. From our down dog, lower onto your hands and your knees, find your tabletop. From here, open up the knees out wide, big toes touch, and we're just gonna sink back into our heels. So we're gonna come now onto lion. Lion is a great stretch for your throat, all of this. So especially since we're at home, feel free to try this, like nobody's watching, please. If you know what's coming, you know what I mean. So from here, your hands can come down to the earth. If you'd like to add a wrist stretch, you can take your fingers to face towards you. That's completely up to you. Wherever you choose to be, take a deep breath in through your nose. And when you exhale, open your mouth, stick your tongue out. 2 more of those. Ready? Deep breath in. Side out, stick your tongue out. One more deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, let it all go. Noticing how that felt, perhaps hopefully that brought a smile to your face. From here, gently extend the hands down, out in front of you, and slowly melt your forehead, find child's pose. Connect back with your intention. When you're ready, inhale into a tabletop position. We're going to draw the knees underneath the hips, so making sure we have that. Here, taking some cats and cows. Inhale, arch your spine for cow pose. And exhale to round the spine for your cat. Almost like a scared cat or a Halloween cat. Okay. Flowing at the rhythm of your breath, inhaling to find that arch, shoulders away from the ears. And exhaling to find that round. Think about taking your heart towards the ceiling. Finding your rhythm, finding your breath. No need to rush this. When you take that breath in and arch, feel your belly expand, like if your belly button wants to come towards your mat. And when you exhale, feel your belly button come towards your spine, maybe tucking the chin in too as you tuck the tailbone as well. So give out one more round or two at your own breath, at your own rhythm. When you're ready, we're going to neutralize our spine. So if they were to put a plate on our back, it would stay. So finding that neutral position. From here, we're going to extend the right leg back. Flex or point your toes, just making sure that leg is active. From here, you can come onto your fingertips on that left hand. Maybe extend the left hand out in front. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you go for tiger pose, bending into that knee, finding the foot. If you do, kick the foot into your hand. Find a drishti, a focal point, perhaps something in front of you. Shoulders away from the ears. Think about growing through the crown of your head. When you're ready, we're slowly going to release little by little, letting go of the foot if you have it, re-extending the leg and the arm before melting back into our tabletop. Coming for the other side. From here, left leg extends back. Flex or point, your choice. From here, maybe coming onto the fingertips on that right hand, maybe lifting that right hand off the earth. Again, perhaps if you're here, a drishti perhaps might be down at your mat. But if you go for that tiger pose where you bend that knee and find your foot, your drishti might change to something in front of you. Embrace it wherever you are. Breathe into it. And again, actively kicking the foot into your hand to help us balance. And that opposite foot that's grounded, feel the backs of your toes helping you ground here and support, or your toes if they're tucked. When you're ready to release, gently releasing out little by little, re-extending, and then back into our tabletop. From here, maybe taking some hip circles, inhaling in center, and then exhaling to melt the hips to the side. At your own breath here, inhaling through center, and then releasing as you exhale and send the hips to the side. If you prefer to take cats and cows instead, feel free. Just finding a bit of movement here. To give out one more round of your flow. Mindfully from here, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, and finding our down dog. sure you've seen many dogs do these. And if you notice, when dogs do this pose, they send their heart back down. So take that action. When you exhale, think about sending your heart down or back towards your thighs. Find that opening in the chest and your shoulders. When you're ready, feet are gonna come together. We're gonna find a one-legged down dog. Reach that right leg up. You can point your toes or flex your foot. If you're flexing your foot, think about driving through your heel. If you're pointing, think about driving through your toes. From here, slowly step that right foot in between the hands. We're gonna lower that knee down, untuck the toes. We're gonna come for a half Hanumanasana, half monkey pose. Extending the front leg, walking the hands back. Again, you can flex or point, that is your preference, but just folding here, melting here. Taking deep breaths, shoulders relaxing. If you'd like to take a twist, invitation to take a twist, left hand down, right hand up. If you do, think about grounding through the heel to help you find balance. If you fall, don't forget to smile. From here, right hand comes back down. We're gonna bend back into that knee. From here, we're gonna tuck the toes, activate that leg, and we're just gonna step that back foot a little bit closer. So here we're gonna come for pyramid pose, almost like you're making a pyramid shape with your legs. So your hips are facing forward, toes are facing forward. Here, take a moment to bow down over that right leg. This is gonna feel perhaps strong on your hamstring. If you feel like you need to take some pressure off, bend into that back knee. Let your head relax. So this is a slightly more advanced variation for the half split that we were doing on the earth. And this also can lead us into flamenco pose. So flamenco pose, if you'd like to try that on, really engaging the core for it. But first, taking the fingertips to face towards the back. Once your fingertips face towards the back, we're gonna bow over that right leg that's in front of us. From here, really activate your core to tuck the back heel towards your glute. Wherever you choose to go, it is all perfect, and it does require a lot of core strength, so be mindful, and perhaps something to practice in the future. When you're ready, we're gonna release, bending into that back knee and stepping it forward, Uttanasana, forward fold at the top of the mat. Just letting our head relax. Perhaps here, finding gorilla pose, sliding the hands underneath our feet, massaging the wrists with our toes. And again here, bend the knees, a little or a lot, your preference. If you let your belly rest on your thighs, you actually activate your immune system. If you were in gorilla, slowly release your hands. We're gonna inhale halfway left, and then exhale to let it go. Inhale, reach, rise to Dasana Mountain Pose, reaching up, and then to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. Pausing here, breathing here. Coming back to our intention, our dedication, to that conscious breathing and consciously feeling the earth beneath your feet. From here, inhale, reaching back up, maybe taking a heart opener, and then exhale, bending in the knees to help you melt down to the earth. From here, gently step one foot back and then the other. Find a plank. From your plank, exhale, knees, chest, chin, lower down. From here, finding a cobra, hands underneath the shoulders, opening up our heart center, and then melting the heart back down to the earth. Really secure your hips on the earth, and when you're ready, we're gonna walk our hands towards our rib cage. From here, we're gonna press the backs of our toes on the earth and find an upward facing dog. The upward facing dog is different from the cobra because your legs are hovering and your arms are extended and a little bit closer to your body. So notice the difference. If you're caving in your shoulders, think about pressing out of your shoulders. When you're ready, find your down dog. Lift the hips and send the heart back. Taking a couple grounding deep breaths. When you're ready, feet together behind, we're gonna come for that other side. So this time that left foot comes up. You can think about driving through your heel or your toes. Notice that duality between your legs, and your heart is still melting back. When you're ready, we're gonna step that foot in between the hands. From here, lower that knee down, untuck the toes. We're gonna have that half split, that half Hanumanasana, extending the front leg and then walking the hands back. Flexing or pointing, grounding through the heel to melt and bow over that left leg. Invitation here to take that twist if you'd like, settling the right hand down and settling the left hand up. From here, melting that hand back to the earth. We're gonna bend into that front knee, frame the foot with your hands. From here, tuck the back toes in, activate that leg, and we're just gonna step it a little bit closer. So again, making that pyramid shape with our legs. Full extension on that leg that's in front. And again, if you want to take some pressure, bend into that back knee. It might feel really good. I like to bend in my knee and then re-extend, kind of play. So feel free to play as well. But just letting your head bow just like you would in any forward fold. If you'd like to try that flamenco pose, it might be a little different from the other side. It's worth a shot. Taking the fingertips to face towards the back of the mat. And again, engage the core before you lift that leg off the earth. It's gonna help you find some extra strength. So really engaging the core and then drawing that back heel towards your glute. Wherever you choose to be, take the breath with you. When you're ready, we're gonna find Tadasana Mountain Pose. Bend into that back knee to step it forward. Letting the head hang. Inhale, halfway lift, grow through your spine. And then exhale to melt back. From here, inhale, rise, reach the hands up, and then into your heart center. Connecting back with our breath, our pranayama. Noticing that the effects of our practice have had on our body, how our body feels compared to how we were first in that very first Tadasana. When you're ready, we can't have Earth Day without tree pose. So here we go, tree pose. Relax your hands, relax your body, shake it off if you need to. Find a drishti, a focal point, and tree pose is a hip opener. So taking it as a hip opener, taking the knee out to the side, right foot first or your left, we're gonna do both sides. You can ground the toes on the earth and your heel on your opposite foot if you'd like to keep the support of the earth. But just making sure we put our foot anywhere but our knee. So you can put it next to your calf, next to your thigh, but if we put it on our knee, it's gonna be a lot of pressure. So making sure that we don't do that. If you have half lotus, feel free to take half lotus. From here, explore, find a drishti, a focal point to keep you balanced, and feel free to explore, maybe spread out your branches. Maybe shine your heart to the sky. Taking any mudras of your choice if you have any. You can even stay with the hands at the heart. This is your practice. How do you choose to express yourself? What kind of tree do you want to embody in this moment? You might notice some micro movements on that standing leg. Just trust it, let it happen. You're fully supported. Your breath is with you. When you're ready, we're slowly going to release again, little by little, releasing the hip opener by taking the knee towards the front to then release it down. Good for you to shake it off. From here, other side. So again, opening up the knee now towards the opposite side. You can keep your toes grounded and your heel grounded, or finding your variation. Again, anywhere but the knee. It's not worth it, I promise. Again, embody whichever kind of tree, maybe the same one, maybe a different one. Why not? You can even close your eyes and notice what it feels like. The good thing is that if you fall, you're at your own house, so it's all good. You won't fall on anyone, hopefully. And falling is part of the journey, so if you do, embrace it. Wherever you are, embrace where you are, embrace your intention, your dedication in this moment. When you're ready, slowly releasing, settling that knee to center to then release it down. Shaking it up. From here, inhale, reach the hands up, and then exhale, take a forward fold, melt it down. From here in our forward fold, we're going to find half moon. So we're going to float that right foot back behind us. From here, your left hand, your opposite hand is going to come down. Right hand is going to come up. As your right hand comes up, think about stacking that right hip on top of the left. So again, imagine that right hip on top of the left. We're opening it open. So our hips are not facing down to the earth. Our hips are facing out to the side. You can stay looking down or look up. Activate that leg, whether it's flexing or pointing, keep that leg active. Maybe reach it a little bit farther up. Don't forget to smile. And from here, we're going to come back into our forward fold, just very gently squaring the hips back forward and melting, maybe shaking off the legs. When you're ready, half moon on the other side, melting here. First to take a nice forward fold. And when you're ready, float that left foot back. Again, flex or point, just making sure it's active. Right hand comes down, left hand comes up. As your left hand comes up, notice that left hip stacking on top of the right. So right now for me, our hips are facing towards the wall. If you have a wall too, maybe that helps. But just imagine cracking that hip open. You can look down or look up. It is your choice. Just find a drishti. Trust those micro movements. Maybe float that leg a little bit higher. From here, release it out. Uttanasana, forward fold. Just taking both feet back down, melting our head, shaking it out. From here, step one foot back and then the other. Open up the knees, big toes touch, and just find a child's pose. From our child's pose, we're gonna transition into rabbit. If you feel like child's pose is more appropriate for you, feel free to stay in child's pose. But for rabbit, we're gonna take the knees close together. So our legs are gonna come close together. From here, for our rabbit pose, we're gonna take the crown of our head, making sure we don't put our forehead, but the crown of our head down to the earth. From here, hands go back, maybe reaching for your feet. Maybe staying right here, or maybe lifting the hips up. It's gonna be a great stretch for your shoulders, your upper body. Stay connected to your breath. And then mindfully releasing. Maybe coming for that child's pose variation. Relaxing the hands, forehead down to the earth this time. Option, you can do a rabbit pose one more time. If you have a headstand in your practice and you'd like to practice that, feel free. And then also as well with the rabbit pose, that's also an invitation to those headstands because you're taking the world upside down and getting used to what it feels like to have the world upside down. So regardless of where you're at, we're still moving forward, right? So perhaps taking that rabbit pose, taking the crown of the head down to the earth, grabbing for our feet, sending the hips up. Taking your variation. One more deep breath. And then slowly release. If you were in an inversion, slowly take your time, releasing it out. When you're ready, we're gonna extend the hands out in front. We're gonna find a tabletop. From our tabletop position, we're gonna sit up for camel pose, Ustrasana. So for camel, your toes can be tucked or untucked. It's a matter of preference. Everybody's different. In my beginning days, I used to have my toes tucked. Now I prefer to have my toes untucked. It's totally up to you though. We're gonna rise up at our knees, taking whichever variation you choose. From here, hands at our hips. We're gonna squeeze the glutes and send the hips forward. Think about growing through your thoracic spine, shining your heart, staying strong in your neck. Your hands are at your hips to help you drive the hips forward. From here, maybe slowly one hand comes down to your heel, maybe the other, but again, keep sending the hips forward, making sure we don't cave at our hips. Keep sending them forward, shoulders away from the ears. Wherever you choose to be, it is all perfect. There are all acceptable variations. And when you're ready to release, slowly come through center. Relax your toes if they were tucked. So gently sink down into your heels. Shaking it out. Maybe from here, extending the left arm across and just gently stretching it out with your right. Sending those fingertips over to the side. Maybe coming for the other side, just shaking it off. From here, slowly release. We're gonna find one more heart opener, locust pose. This one's gonna be melting on the earth. So slowly find your body on Mother Earth, on your mat. Feel your hip bones down on the earth. It's gonna be your foundation here. From here, hands interlace, chin parallel to the earth. Find your locust pose. Inhale, grow through your spine. Think about sending your knuckles towards your feet. Maybe take the legs on a flight too. Shoulders away from the ears. Think about shooting your heart forward and the crown of your head up to the sky. Notice the quality of your breath. Feel your belly hit the earth as you breathe. Breath first, pose second. And then slowly releasing, letting it go, taking whichever ear you'd like to the mat for a downward facing shavasana. Relaxing the shoulders. Feeling your belly move with your breath. From here, slowly chin parallel to the earth. Your choice, cobra or up dog, now that you know the difference. So find whichever one you choose to inhale, open your heart, and then exhale back into your downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna take a forward fold at the back of the mat. So slowly walk the hands towards the back of the mat, shift your weight back, bend the knees, let the head melt. We're taking a nice forward fold to reverse the heart openers that we took. We always want to reverse what we do. If you want to find gorilla again, feel free to slide the hands underneath your feet. Options, you can stay in this forward fold, Or if you have TT Bahasana, firefly pose in your practice, you can go on to firefly. For firefly, we're gonna slowly let the head melt, and we're gonna take our hands behind our feet. So this is important. If you can't take your hands behind your feet, one day you will. So from here, I almost like to think of like I'm strapping on a backpack with my legs. So strapping my legs and my shoulders. From here, my fingertips are gonna be right behind my feet, and slowly, as my palm grounds down, my hips do too. From here, find a drishti, a focal point. Maybe lift one foot, maybe the other. You can take the variation where you interlace your legs, or the variation where your legs extend out in front. Be mindful with yourself, with your body. Take the variation that you choose, that your body chooses for you today. And when you're ready, we're slowly gonna release, settling the feet back down, maybe swaying it out if you took that. From here, legs are hip distance so that we can slowly find our down dog once more. From our down dog, settle the knees down to the earth, find a tabletop. So from here, we're gonna find frog pose. Frog pose is a very big hip opener. Our bodies are not quite used to doing it, so it might feel very strong. So if you have a pillow, feel free to bring it over. So we're gonna come towards the side of our mat. We're gonna separate our knees as wide as it feels comfortable. From here, make sure that your knee is tracking your ankle and your foot is flexed. So you're making like a big L shape with both of your legs. If you have that pillow, feel free to take it underneath you, underneath your hips or underneath your heart. Your hands can stay grounded or maybe slowly lowering down. If this feels like it's too much for you, you can take a child's pose, still a hip opener, just different degrees. Notice where you want to send your energy, your breath, your attention. Where is this showing up for you? Perhaps this is more mental than it is physical, or more physical than it is mental. Taking a couple more breaths. Slowly gonna release, whether you glide forward or back, your choice. If you glide forward, maybe shake out the legs. Doesn't have to be graceful, it just has to be with purpose. From here, we're gonna settle our hips down and extend the legs out in front of us. When we extend the legs out in front of us, we're gonna separate them into a straddle. So here, take the legs as wide as it feels good for you. From here, inhale to grow, and then exhale to bow forward. Let the head relax, flex or point your toes, and just let gravity help you here. You might really feel this in your inner thigh muscles. Send your breath, your energy there, or wherever this may be showing up. If it's in your practice, maybe turtle pose. Sliding the hands underneath your knees. Yes, bend your knees for this. Your body will thank you. From here, the head settles down to the earth or a block, and we embody the spirit of a turtle if you're here. Wherever you choose, a couple more breaths. We're mindfully going to release. If you had that turtle, gently slide your hands back out in front. We're going to walk our hands back forward so that we can really grow through our spine. From here, we're going to join the legs. Feet flex. Inhale to grow, and then exhale to take a seated forward fold. Just melting here, shoulders relax. From here, rolling back tall. We're gonna settle the feet behind us. Find your tabletop on your hands and knees. From your hands and knees, find your down dog. Tuck the toes, up the hips, and the heart back. From here, feet together behind. Right leg is gonna come up. Bend your knee, open up through your hip. Like if you're taking that right knee towards your left glute. From here, that foot, that knee, comes in between the hands for a half pigeon. So taking our half pigeon, that knee's at the center, or if you'd like a little bit more, you can take your knee farther out to the side. But just making sure that right hip is supported. Maybe here, opening up our heart. You can find king pigeon by bending that back knee and finding your foot if that's in your practice. You can also try mermaid pose, sending the hips to the side, bending in that back knee, taking that back foot towards the crease of your elbow, and then reaching for your hands. Coming onto mermaid pose if you'd like. You can stay opening up your heart, or and when, if you're ready, mounting the heart down to the earth. Maybe connecting with at least 3 things to be grateful for today. Like the sun that's shining down on us. Taking a couple more deep breaths, breathing into that gratitude. We're slowly gonna release, very gently walking the hands back closer to you. Rounding through our hands to help us lift our heart. We're gonna find cow face pose. So that foot that's behind us is gonna come forward. So that right knee that's at the bottom is gonna face towards the center of your mat. From here, that foot that was behind us and now is forward, it's gonna come on either side, or knees come on top. From here, inhale, reach up with your right hand and then take it towards your upper back. From here, left hand follows, and we slowly here perhaps touch our fingers, interlace. If you have a strap and that were to feel better, feel free to take a strap. But notice that right elbow pointing up and left elbow pointing down. Notice that duality. Notice the crown of your head growing. Slowly from here, we're gonna release little by little, reaching back up that right hand, releasing the left. From here, mindfully release your feet. We're gonna come back into our down dog, sending our hips up and our heart back. Maybe shaking out the legs if you'd like. From here, when you're ready, feet together, left leg comes up, bend in that knee, open up through the hip, take the knee up to the sky, the foot over towards the edge of your mat. From here, half pigeon, settling that left knee in between the hands or towards the outer edge of your mat. Maybe here finding some heart openers, maybe king pigeon. Maybe you prefer that mermaid pose, setting the hips to the side, Taking that back foot to the crease of your right elbow, finding the hands. Your choice. Maybe continue with your heart openers, and if you'd like, melting to release the heart out. Coming back into gratitude, perhaps 3 more things to be grateful for. There are endless things to be grateful for. Taking a couple more deep breaths. Send that breath where you need it most. And very gently rising back up, rolling through the crown of our heads. Getting ready for our cow face. Settling that right leg that's behind us forward. Taking that left knee towards the center of your mat. That right foot can be on either side or the knees on top of each other. From here, inhale, left arm up, and then take it behind your upper back. From here, right hand follows behind. Maybe the fingertips touch, maybe they don't. This side might be completely different from the other. So be gentle with yourself. Sometimes that difference have to do whether we're righties or lefties, or everybody's different. But notice that right elbow pointing down and that left elbow pointing up, both working against each other with that beautiful duality. Feel the crown of your head growing through the sky. And when you're ready, we're slowly going to release first the left hand and then the right. We're going to release our legs, extend them out in front. Use the strength of your core to help you lower down and bring the knees into your heart center. Perhaps rocking gently. If you want to massage your low back, take your hands at your knees and make circles with your knees. Let your hands do this and guide it wherever feels right for you. Making sure if we take circles, taking them in both directions. And you notice something that may be showing up. When you're ready, we're going to extend the arms out like a T. Options here, you can let the knees melt to the right, or if you'd like to take eagle legs, cross the left leg over the right. Maybe they stay like this, or maybe your feet interlace. But just sending the knees to the right, the gaze over to the left. Let that left shoulder relax down towards the earth to help your heart open. Maybe close the eyes and just focus on your breath. Notice that detox in your belly and your breath. One more deep, conscious breath. We're slowly gonna release, unhook the legs if you have them, and just bring the knees to your heart. Give yourself a hug, a squeeze, just to release it out. When you are ready, we are slowly gonna come for the other side. Let the knees melt over to the left, maybe crossing that right leg, taking those eagle legs if you'd like. But just the knees melt now over to the left. And our gaze comes over to the right, away from our knees. Our eyes, our head is an extension of our spine. So when we twist, we want to twist with the whole body. Nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just focusing on our breath. Taking one more deep breath. From here, slowly releasing, uncrossing the legs if you did. And just bring the knees back into your heart. Take any final shakes or wiggles that you'd like. And when you're ready, we're going to find our Shavasana, our final resting pose. Extending the legs and the arms, almost like a starfish. Feel free to take up space. You can end your practice in whichever way you want. If you do not want to end your practice like this, you can take your legs up the wall if you have a wall. You can take downward facing Shavasana on your belly instead. You can take a seated meditation. However you choose. I'm going to take a seated meditation so that my voice can travel, but I encourage you to take up space and really enjoy your Shavasana laying down on the earth. Really embracing and feeling grateful for the support that Mother Earth gives us underneath our mat and on a daily basis. We can trust every step that we take because the earth is underneath us. And taking that same level of trust that we have for the earth, for ourselves. Let your third eye soften, relaxing any muscles in your forehead center. Let your cheekbones and your jaw relax, creating space between your teeth. Allow your tongue to relax away from the roof of your mouth. Let your spine enjoy the support of the earth, your legs and your arms, and the back of your head. Sending Pacha Mama, Mother Nature, Gaia, our love, our thank yous, our blessings. And rejoicing because despite it all, she is healing right now. And healing in a beautiful way. that perhaps after all this is over, perhaps humanity will have a bit more compassion towards Mother Earth, raising our vibrations to be in more alignment with Mother Nature, setting that intention forward. Thank you all for joining me today and dedicating this practice to Mother Earth. Feeling grateful in our hearts for all the beautiful memories that we've had along this earth. Thank you for any donations you can send and for all the love and light that you all carry and show and embrace. The light in me sees, honors, respects, and loves the light in each and every one of you. Until next time, namaste. Thank you all.